In this morning's New Zealand Herald headlines, ACC bosses $32,000 trip amid job cuts.
Our savings exercise has freed up considerable cash.
Nicola Willis teases her budget plans, and the death toll remains unknown after devastating landslide in Papua New Guinea. Atamaria, I'm Sherry Kinnear. It's Tuesday, the 28th of May. The ACC chief executive has flown business class to Europe on a taxpayer-funded work trip, just as staff are being consulted on a proposal to cut almost 400 jobs. Megan Main left New Zealand on Saturday ahead of a conference in Paris where she's speaking. The ACC boss says the $32,000 trip's important to improving their services, but admits it isn't great timing. Auckland Transport's reversing some changes to bus lane hours on K Road. It'll reduce the additional hours it implemented last November. During weekdays, the north side will stay the same, with bus-only times between 7 and 10 a.m. and 3 and 7 p.m. On the south side, they'll now only be in place between 3 and 7 p.m, while bus lanes on the weekend have been scrapped. The Finance Minister's giving little away in terms of her tax cut plan ahead of this week's budget. Nicola Willis last night confirmed there'll be 240 initiatives the government's cutting to help fund tax cuts, the details of which will be revealed in the budget. But that's about as far as she would go on the issue, instead saying it would read differently from budgets in recent years.
Instead of being a confetti of new spending ideas, you'll also see examples of careful reprioritisation in almost every area of government. Together, our savings exercise has freed up considerable cash, and as promised, some of this will go to support tax relief.
New Caledonia's state of emergency ends today after about 2 weeks of unrest, which has left 7 dead. French President Emmanuel Macron says lifting the state of emergency will allow political dialogue. Fewer than 20 New Zealanders are still in the French island territory, with the Air Force working on getting them home. Meanwhile, Air New Zealand says the main international airport in Noumea remains closed until at least Sunday. And there's no definitive figure of how many people have died in Papua New Guinea after a devastating landslide. The United Nations estimates 670 people have lost their lives, but the Papua New Guinea government says up to 2,000 people could be buried under the mud and rubble. New Zealand is meanwhile ready to provide assistance, but hasn't yet received a request from the PNG government. And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more news worth knowing, head to nzherald.co.nz. Kia pai te rā. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald. Click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.